What's good with the YouTube of Convicts Perspective? Your boy Flacco, big Flacco, man, sliding through, smashing through with big Senor Rojo. Man, and we got a whole lot of energy, man, because we got an exclusive update coming right now for the people, by the people, and Rojo's going to get straight to it, man. Some information that was released about 5 minutes before we dropped this video.
Check this out, YouTube, man. We got a brand new R.I.C.O indictment targeting the state leadership of the Nuestra Familia. The only name I can give you for sure that will be going will be Chuco. But apparently the indictment targets the whole chain of command of the state faction of the NF. So a lot of things are going to transpire over the next couple days. We'll be able to give you all the names on the indictment. Maybe even later on today, maybe just in an hour, we might jump back on here on a live or something and give it to you directly. Who knows? But you know, we got this information fresh off the press, and we wanted to bring it to you first. But I mean, this is the beginning of the end, in my opinion, of the state faction, brother. These guys are going to go to the feds.
Yeah, from our understanding, man, Rojo can confirm this, man, and we may be off a little bit, but allegedly it's Chuco, all the chain of command leadership, which includes about 13 inmates. So we can only speculate who that may be. It could be Conejo, of course, maybe DC, but he's been a little bit older. They kind of pushed him out the way, I've heard. It could be a Puppet, Sleepers, a couple other individuals, you know me, because they say that all brass is basically over there in Salinas Valley, but there's more Cat 3s in Solano from my understanding. So you just got to look at everybody who's been behind the scenes these last few years, but we do know Chuco for sure was indicted. Now you're going to ask yourself, where are they probably going to be housed? I've heard speculation that usually when there's ever a federal indictment in Northern California, you're housed in one of two locations. You're either housed in Santa Rita County Jail, which has all the contracts with the feds, or you're going to be housed in Sacramento. So from my understanding, just like the previous Operation Black Widow, I'm going to assume that they're going to be housed probably in Santa Rita. And as we already know, this is going to be even interesting right here, right? And we're going to throw out a couple of scenarios out there. You got Matt Rocha, who is currently housed in Alameda County on a whole different type of federal indictment. Now, I already know from what I've heard and from a lot of people, Mateo's kept aside, so don't speculate that he's debriefing or telling, because he's not. He's not working in any shape or form or fashion with the feds, to the best of my knowledge. But this was a long time coming. You figure the last serious indictment that occurred like this was 2001. The previous indictments before that were major was 1982, I believe, when Death Row Joe and all them got indicted in Babel, which was another 25-man indictment. So I'm just wondering, just like Operation Black Widow, what the feds did when they did that indictment, they indicted all the leadership first that were incarcerated, right? The main people. Then they waited a couple weeks and see where everybody scattered. Then they hand up all the rest of the people out there on the streets. So if you think that just these 13 people are going to be the only people indicted, you're mistaken. I've heard that this is Operation Black Widow Part 2, and that's going to be even a bigger indictment than the first one.
Yeah, and man, a long time ago, a lot of people would ask us who we thought we'd win, and at first, you know, we sided with the guys that are scattered across the country, and this is the reason why. It's because the next time one of these indictments like this came down, these guys that are battling right now are going to have to go to their home court in the BOP. That's not a good situation to be in for any one of those individuals. You know, it's basically you're going to somebody else's turf, man, that's already established. And
but the difference between the difference between the feds and state, I had an interesting conversation about this with someone, and they were speaking about the Mexican mafia politics, how they've had their power struggles with leadership as well. And what ends up happening, right, is once the feds know, the one thing about the federal government is once they know that you guys are in conflict or enemy or there's a power struggle, they're going to separate you guys. So that's what's going to clearly happen here. I guarantee that if these guys get scattered to the feds again, I guarantee you that they're going to probably be separated. If not, this is something I'm going to put out there as an assumption, as a perspective. It's just an idea, right? I guarantee you some of these people who fell under Conejo and Chuco's wing are going to start reaching out to Mateo now that they're in Santa Rita with them, if they're in Santa Rita, if that's where they locate, because they already know that Matt's still pushing. He's still pushing that same agenda. He's loyal to the Fed still. He hasn't flipped. He hasn't debriefed. So if you want to salvage yourself, this is where the politics are going to get real stinky. Either people are going to flip or they're going to start reaching out to Matt so they can have safe passage when they hit the Feds. Now, I want to ask you an even deeper question. If they're still struggling with the first indictment from Operation Black Widow, with a power struggle and internal conflict, what do you think now is going to happen based upon this indictment? And let's remember, these aren't the only the 13 people that have been indicted on this. There's going to be a whole lot of other people, I guarantee you, out there in the streets that are going to get indicted as well. Watch.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, it's going to devastate the state, whatever the state has going on right now. I mean, if they take Chuco plus 13, I don't know who that could possibly lead that has enough wisdom and overall foresight to successfully bring the state back from this type of devastating indictment, brother. You know, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to downplay anybody's intelligence or anything like that, but the wisdom to be able to guide a complex organization from the very, very top, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of grooming. It takes being an understudy. It takes a lot of things. And as my brain goes through, you know, rosters in my head, I just don't see anybody that's going to be able to pull it off and put them back where they need to be. I think it's a devastating blow. I don't think it's not going to affect the Feds at all. There's going to be zero effect on the Feds. I mean, they might take a couple hits on the streets or, you know, maybe lose some money or something, but they're going to walk away unscathed.
I guarantee you every state regiment out there on the streets is going to get hemmed up.
Yeah. There's going to be some federal interest in there too, you know, because they still cross boundaries in some form or fashion.
Working together.
As a whole, this is a direct bomb on the state. And that just solidified the federal hold, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think so.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens right here, because I was told that someone made a comment there next to Emiliano, and they made a comment in one of our posts a while ago, and they said that there's 137 watered down in the state. So basically, they were telling me there was 137 alleged members. So there's going to be someone who's going to grab to pick up the pieces. And knowing these guys, though, you know, knowing these individuals, I'm pretty sure that they had an installment plan for this. You know what I'm saying? They must have learned from Operation Black Widow. And that's one of the things that they stress. So I guarantee you that whoever's there is going to pick up the pieces and they're going to try to figure this thing out. Does this make them weaker now? Oh, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cause a whole long rift, man. There's going to be more people flipping. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be more people telling. There's going to be more people taking deals. And there's going to be more people who don't want to face that wrath in the Feds, like you're saying. You know what I'm saying? They made their bed, now they got to lay in it. We all predicted that this was going to happen. It was inevitable. You know what I mean? It always happens every 20 years. This is not like a small one like Operation Red October, Operation Red Reaper, even Operation Valley Star. This is bigger than that. You know what I mean? This is Operation Black Widow Part 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see man, I don't even know what to say, bro. I mean, I don't even see the state being able to bounce back, you know, not for a considerable amount of time, bro.
Yeah.
This is devastation. I mean, I seen it coming. I didn't think it would take this long from the end of hostilities, because for one, I figured those in power would still be, let's call it butthurt over the end of hostilities, the administration, that they won and they were able to get out and able to do whatever. I figured there'd be some animosity behind that and some repercussions, you know, on a state, federal government level. So I'm surprised it took, 2021, 2012, almost 10 years for this indictment to happen. I would have had it in my mind, if I would have been looking at it from the outside back then, I would have said it would take no more than 3-4 years at the tops before they shut down the next state level heads of the group. I was wrong, but it took them a long time. But I promise you, during this amount of time, they've been able to accumulate devastating amounts of information, intelligence, debriefing, snitching, whatever. And this is going to be a whopper, bro.
I think that there's, okay, we don't know the details yet at all. We don't have the information.
Zero.
I guarantee you, though, that there's going to be a whopper in this situation. There's going to be the biggest surprise possible in this scenario. I guarantee you, one of those high-ranking individuals, top three, I guarantee you, one of them has already been telling this whole time. Guarantee it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my presumption. I've heard rumors, you know what I'm saying, about certain people, you know what I mean, meeting with IGI over there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't ever remember a time. You couldn't even be a MAC rep back in the days. Yet because you're holding a certain position of authority, you're allowed to meet and talk with IGI and work out issues. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that with my own eyes and ears, but I've heard that from about 3, 4 people. You know what I'm saying? And so when you start to hear 3, 4 people, it starts to ring a little bit of truth. So I'm not trying to start no rumors, but that could be allegedly true. But I think in order for them to penetrate this group that hard, that is basically on paranoia status based upon the feds, right? Guarantee someone within the tops is already flipping. Already was indicted, and they already strung them up by their legs and got them to work. Guarantee it, man. You know what I'm saying? Unless they start to encrypt all their communications, you know what I mean? Because they got a whole lot of secret ways of communicating, man. I'm pretty sure the feds have already tapped into that. You know what I'm saying? Because like we say over and over again, as smart as you think you have it, they're knowing everything the whole time along.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you on what you said, and there's gonna be people in the comments be like, "Oh, you guys are assuming." You're correct. We are assuming.
Yeah, we are assuming.
But hey, but mark Flacco's words and mark my words. You're gonna see. It's gonna come out. It might take a year, but you'll be like, "Damn, remember when we said Flacco and Rojo were assuming that there was a leak at the top?" Y'all are gonna be like, "Man, them sons of bitches were right." Watch.
Yeah.
So get your clown on in the comments now and say that we're jumping to conclusions and stuff, but does it look like we're playing?
I mean, you know, a couple of those dudes are in their 70s already, you know what I mean? Already on paranoid status, you know what I mean? Already scared to come out the cell door.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Flacco.
What's up?
You think they snatched up the OG from Chino?
Man, they better take him to a detox center then. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
No disrespect to him. He's been an OG for a long time. I guess he's a little senile. And I guess he suffers from a little bit of addiction issues as well. You know what I'm saying? But I hope they take him to a detox center because that could be very dangerous for that old man. I mean, he's old anyways, man. So, you know, he's on his last legs anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to DC, man. I always like DC. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him ever, but hopefully they just let the OG just do his last couple years in peace, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. I've heard
different. He does. Play with his yo-yo or whatever.
I heard that he was still holding a general position, but I heard that he had, you know, subordinates that were taking care of it for him. You know, basically his general advocate's office or whatever. Or I don't know what position he was holding. I'm gonna assume it was either GAO or general prisons. I don't know which position. You hear different theories. But they've been switching that around. From my understanding, they switch it around all the time. But I heard that they were trying to force him to retire anyways. You know what I'm saying? And which would make sense. I mean, the man's probably in his 70s. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's definitely 70-something.
You know, and they say he's already suffering from dementia, as well as other things as well. And I'm not trying to take shots. I'm just putting out there everything that we've been able to pry into and the information we've been able to figure out, man. So, you know, I mean, Conejo probably, I would assume Conejo, you know what I'm saying, who doesn't really have a good track record as it is. You know what I'm saying? No. You know, there's been a lot of stuff that's been speculated about him in the past, man. Like, I mean, questionable things from like getting away from cases to disappearing in courtroom to, you know, a whole lot of lists, man. I've heard some things about that dude, man, that, you know what I mean? He had homeboys in there broke, not even going to the store while he had about 20, 30 magazine subscriptions, man, that, you know, he had to get cut off because of his actions over there. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of issues surrounding that individual. And he knows how to wiggle, though. He knows how to politic. He knows how to build that wall. You know what I'm saying? But we can only assume other people. I mean, just think of what the leadership is, man. There's only a selectful few familianos who are from that time era that carry any type of rank. You know what I'm saying? And I guess they're still going by the CAT system. I don't know if they're going by the new system, which is time and grade now. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't know how that's going to play into a factor of if there's a if there's a inner council or general council or how the voting works on that. I mean, they've changed a lot of things, man, as far as in the Fed. So I don't know if that was a mutual thing that they had agreed upon before there was a conflict, or if they're still going by the cat system.
Yeah, who knows, man. I'd have to agree with you too that they'll house them in Rita, because Rita's has enough room and enough in the way it's designed. They could totally house them totally separate and avoid any interaction with anybody there really simply. You know what I mean? Just the way that their prison or their jail is designed, you know. I don't know nothing about Sacramento, but if the indictment comes out of the San Francisco Bay Area, they're definitely going to house them at Rita, because they're not going to want to transport them from Sacramento back and forth.
Okay, Operation Black Widow, some of their star witnesses, they started housing them in other counties.
Well, that's like a witness protection type of thing.
Yeah, because I remember I ran into Flacco from Salinas when I was when I was in the county jail. I mean, I don't know if you knew Flacco from Salinas, but he was one of the ones that was working with them during post Operation Black Widow. You know what I'm saying? And so they would scatter people to different counties. They'd have them like over there in Calaveras County. Believe it or not, counties you would never think of. They had them in all these different counties. You know what I mean? Like I know Operation Valley Star. I think you had Bubba and them. I don't know. Bubba was in. I want to say Bubba may have been in Fresno, but I know Pizza and them were in Fresno for a while. So they start putting people in different locations sometimes if they can. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it with this case.
They won't.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna assume that they're gonna probably have this case being ran out of San Francisco. Just like
you know why they're not going to break them up, bro? It's because they're gonna want to continue keeping an eye on them as a whole and just be able to monitor what they have going on easier than having to spread out, you know, resources to different counties and this and that. When they all got them right there, it's much easier to keep track as a, you know what I mean?
I wonder if they're gonna put them on the main line though.
They're going to put them in their own separate area, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have what they'll have is like, they got little different pods and shit in Rita. They'll lock them in one pod, you know, there's X amount of people, you know, there might be some whites and some blacks in there, but
let them kill each other, huh?
There won't be no other Northerners in there. But yeah, they're going to have their own spot. They're going to come out at their own time. They're not going to play games with them people.
Well, you got, I think Mateo's still there, and I think Chente's still there as well. If they go to Santa Rita, they could go to Sacramento. They could, I don't think they'll go to San Jose though.
Yeah, they're not going to be nowhere near Chente or Matt. Not unless Matt ends up being part of the indictment somehow. But they already know what time it is, bro. They're not gonna make no mistakes like that.
So okay, so what do you think happens now as far as with all this other stuff going on, man? Like this, we could make topics about this whole scenario for like about 2 weeks, man. We could talk about does the end to hostilities end. I mean, do the Norteños break away from the NF finally? You know, I mean, we could have about 1,000 different titles going on right now, man.
No, you know I'm sure everything will remain in place. You know, positions are going to be changed. It ain't going to affect the end of hostilities. People have it too good on the main line, you know, even those that are that might be very firmly against it before. Once they get a taste of how it is out there nowadays and the ability to wiggle and the lack of, you know, opposition really, you know, opposition's there, but there's no hostility.
Watch what happens.
They don't want that to end.
But this is what the feds didn't consider, and they're probably watching our stuff, because I know a lot of law enforcement watches our stuff, right? They didn't consider this. Think about this. There's going to be a lot of money owed, right? That's going to need to be collected inside these prisons and all that. A lot of people are going to try to wiggle and refuse to pay since these dudes are now indicted. Guarantee you there could be some conflict over that.
Well, if you only take 14 and there's 137, I mean, you still don't want those kind of problems. There's still 120 of them, and they'll still get you. If you owe money, they'll peel your wig back. So
that's what, yeah.
They're gonna pay, or there's gonna be some problems, bro, that they don't really want. Because if you owe money and you say you're not paying, you got two choices. You're gonna eat, steal, or you're gonna lock it up.
They're gonna get that money, and then they're gonna talk about, oh, the state leadership is no bad. We're loyal to the feds now. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen, man. We could play so many different possible scenarios about this situation, guys. So, you know what I mean? I think the best thing for us to do is sit back, grab the popcorn, and watch, see what happens next. Because you know what? If you was out there in the mix, you could be next.
And there's a lot of people out there right now that are next, and they don't even know it yet.
They're watching our show. They're probably gonna get the door kicked in at the same
They're
time.
like, son of a bitch.
Why not write that letter to them?
Hey, this is that what you call it. These are these lessons right here, you know. These are these
And
lessons,
these
man.
guys knew this was coming, bro. So you know what I mean? Think about it. Just like Operation Black Widow, they knew that was coming, man. So if they're out there still utilizing you to fatten their pockets, man, they don't care. It's all about having that power, man. Sometimes it just feeds our ego. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, from what we gathered, the initial wave is 14 total, which is ironic that that's the number. But there's going to be more, and we might even know that by today. You know, they might release a master list or something, man. But it's going to include people on the streets. It's going to include people that it shouldn't even include, like it always does. But this is going to be hard to bounce back from. You know, this is, like Flacco said,
old ladies,
this is
wives,
Black Widow too.
all that stuff. Wives, old ladies, brothers, sisters. People who probably even just working 9 to 5, but just assisting a little bit on something. Man, that happened the last time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, never even heard of the NF, but you're on trial fighting R.I.C.O. Hey, it's cool. Hey, these are the things you sign up for though when you sign up for that gang life, man. You gotta
Yeah. I wonder if there's gonna be any of these rap groups indicted as well on this, you know what I mean? Or anything else. You know what I mean? Anything else associated to it, man. It's gonna be kind of interesting, man.
it's gonna unfold over the next week. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. The next week, man, we'll know a whole bunch of stuff, man. There's gonna be a lot of breaking news, man. And hopefully we'll be able to bring it to you just like we brought you this, you know. But yeah, I mean, if they go to the feds, bro, they got to be in their own spot, or it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, they'll probably be separated. You know what I mean?
Especially the top 5 or 7 guys, you know. Because trust me, the feds know who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're not going to forget. They're not going to forget at all.
No,
That's the thing, man.
Hey, didn't you put me on the B&L? Oh, I was just playing.
But these guys, they going to get censored or go to trial for like 4 or 5 years easily. You know what I mean? There's going to be motion after motion after motion. You know what I mean?
And them boys over there are going to be working out, just waiting, stretch it.
Recruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It's not even funny, bro, because it's a matter of life and death, you know. But
they made
this coming. We told you guys when we started the channel, this is what was going to happen.
I wonder if they're going to put them on MA yards. You know what I'm saying?
But they'd be safer there.
I mean, we had a truce in the state. You know what I mean? Like
they'll be safer there.
They're gonna be like, hey, we don't have that truce in the feds. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is crazy.
Hey, bro, what's the lesson to today's video though, man? What is it for the people out there?
Look at this, man. This is what happens. Very top leadership of the state going down. They're on the top of the world while they're in the state, having things their way. Now they might have to end up answering to their own group at some time. So there's sides. You think you're a down homie, this and that, you're doing the right thing, you're falling in place. You might not have fell in the right place, and you might have to go answer for that. There's treachery at the highest levels.
I'm gonna bring this up, bro. Operation Black Widow. Out of all those indictments, you know what I'm saying, they had like indictment after indictment. I think only 7 people total maybe stayed solid.
Yeah.
Maybe only 7
and it's going to happen again right here.
It's going to happen again right here. So that those same leaders you've been communicating, taking orders from, directives from out there, contributing money to, man. And I'm talking to all the youngsters out there, man. You know, you're out there in the mix thinking that you're part of something, man. That same big homeboy that you were taking in, hanging out with, or communicating with, or looking at as your looking at as a, you know, an elder, as a leader, bro. You know what I mean? He's going to be on the same side as us pretty soon. Just keeping it 100.
It ends in 3 places: B&L, life in prison, mortuary. Play at your own risk. All right, YouTube, man, that's our breaking news, man. Big round of indictments for the state, you know, faction of the NF. Hopefully within the next hour or 2, we'll be able to drop more information in regards to the names. Right now, we know for sure that it does include Chuco. That's all we know right at this minute, but we might be back on here in 30 minutes. It might be a couple hours, but we'll have more for you, man. Appreciate y'all. And remember, It's a tough life.
Stay
Living
away
the
from
life.
gangs. Stay away from crime. There's a whole better way to live it. Mark my word. We're living proof of that.
Because if not, the boogeyman will get you.